ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
Elmore deep, left side, Bryant, good! From 30 feet, John Elmore!
The Drive with Paul Swann.
Welcome into another edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Thanks for tuning in. Here this hour, we got a special show, I think, for you. Coming up, we're going to hear from CJ Burks. He's going to be doing a signing coming up later this week. Opportunity for you to catch up with CJ and also, wish him on his way. We're going to hear from him a little bit later on the program. Also, here in a few minutes, we're going to hear from Megan Smith, head coach of the Marshall softball team. They are in the championship bracket. They defeat the number 1 seed, North Texas, earlier today in a 1-0 outing. Abigail Tolbert with a shutout, so we're looking forward to seeing what they can do in the championship bracket. If they can win the next two, they're done. They win the Conference USA tournament, and they get to go to the NCAA tournament. So how about that? They're right there. And that's what I expect from Marshall softball. That's what a lot of people expect out of Marshall softball, always right there in contention. So beating the 1 seed today, putting them in the loser bracket, and the Thundering Herd, of course, advancing to the winner bracket. They will continue on tomorrow. So we'll hear from her as well. And, of course, as time permits, we'll get your phone calls in on the Miller Lite phone lines at 877-420-TALK, 877-420-8255. Miller Lite, hold true, great taste, only 96 calories. It is the original light beer. Now, we've got those two coming on the program today. And, of course, we'll talk more about the softball matchup for the Thundering Herd. They're going to play the winner of Louisiana Tech and Middle Tennessee. And North Texas will face off against the loser of that contest. And we'll talk to Megan Smith about that here in a few minutes. Of course, we got a busy night in sports. NBA playoffs continue. Toronto taking on Philadelphia. That's coming up tonight, 8 o'clock. Denver at Portland. That's coming up tonight at 10:30. And, of course, my attention will be focused on Game 1, Eastern Conference Finals between Carolina, the Hurricanes, and the Boston Bruins. Right now, everyone hates Boston except people from Boston. You know why? Because they're terrible fans. They're terrible people. If you are a Boston fan, you're terrible. If you're living in the city of Boston, you're terrible. And you know what? Your Celtics are gone too, so take that. Boston, just a terrible place. And here's another example of Boston being Boston. Chip Alexander, he works for the Raleigh News and Observer, covers the Carolina Hurricanes. And he comes on the radio in Boston with the host, Fred Tuscher. And Fred, about 4 minutes into the conversation, just hangs up on Chip Alexander. Chip's breaking it down, giving some information, some good information actually on the Carolina Hurricanes. We have guests like that on the program all the time. It's great getting to talk to media from the other cities just to kind of get a feel for what that team's about. And Fred decides he's going to hang up on Chip. Is it because of something Chip said? No, it's because he couldn't handle a guy with a southern accent talking hockey. Are you kidding me? First of all, you're from Boston, so don't talk about anybody's accent, first and foremost. So now we've got Don Cherry dissing hockey in the South. We've got Fred here because the guy from Boston is busting on a writer from the southern part of the United States of America who happens to be covering the team that Boston's facing. So he just hangs up. Probably in part because, nobody's talking about Fred Tuscher until today, right? I've never heard of Fred Tuscher. He's probably never heard of me either. It doesn't matter. Why do you do that? I've only employed the hang up a few times. Only a few times. And I can remember the hang up incidents that I've employed because it is a weapon of last resort. You drop the caller when, one, you just can't deal with what they're trying to do on the air, and they're detrimental to the broadcast. Here's this guy breaking down the Carolina Hurricanes, telling everyone in the Boston radio market, hey, here's what this team's about. If you don't know, You've been following Boston. Now you're going to face off against Carolina. Here's what this team is about. It should be a great matchup. He's dropping information, and boom. Southern accent, really. So adding to the list, the bunch of jerks are going to probably just blow through Boston as well, and we're going to get, hopefully, a Stanley Cup final featuring Carolina Hurricanes, and I don't know who I'm picking on the other side because I've got some fandom for both teams. San Jose, St. Louis. I'll probably take the Blues only because San Jose beat the Colorado Avalanche, and we had a party today, a commiseration party for my good friend Eric Rains, who is, by the way, over on our rock station, 92.7, 98.5, The Planet, which back-to-back rock station of the year in the state of West Virginia. I don't know if you knew that, but now you do. All right, we're going to take our next break, come back. When we continue, Megan Smith is going to join me on the program. I'm excited to hear from her. So we'll talk to Megan Smith when we continue with today's edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
You're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann, the 2019 West Virginia Broadcasters Association Best Talk Show on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Marshall softball victorious this afternoon, advancing to the winners bracket by beating the number 1 seed North Texas 1-0. And I've got to admit, it's very hard to squeeze 5 minutes out of Coach's schedule, but I got him. Megan Smith, head coach of the Marshall softball team, now joins us, and I mean that in a great way because I swear I think this is the hardest working softball team in all of America.
Well, we do our best. I mean, our goal is to outwork everyone, our staff. We work extremely hard to get our players prepared. So, yeah, it's tough to get a few minutes, but I'm glad to be here today.
Exciting. I know you expect this. A lot of people are probably excited that the Herds in the championship bracket, you're expecting to be here. I mean, this is what you envisioned.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think we played a really good conference season. We were strong, and I think we were playing our best softball at the end of the conference season. And, we said going into this that we're a dangerous team, and people should be really fearful to see us in the tournament because we're playing our best softball. Our offense is firing on all cylinders. Abby Tolbert's got confidence and is doing really well and is dominant in the circle. And our defense has come around and has been really strong. So, we certainly have expected to win games here, and we're here to contend to win the championship.
Now, 1-0, that's not what I've come to expect from this team, but it still is an outcome that you expect because, as you mentioned, Abby has been pretty strong. Third straight shutout, correct, for her in the last 3 matchups.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, offensively, we certainly like to put up more runs, and we have been doing that, and more power during the games. But today, honestly, it was a pitcher's duel. Both pitchers do extremely well, and Abby has been on her game here lately. She has been locked in and laser focused, and today she put on a show. She was magnificent. I mean, there were some jams, there were some times she had to work out of things, and she just had ice in her veins, and she went right after it. And it was fun to be a part of and fun to watch her work today.
Now, the good news is if you can win the next 2, you're going to the NCAA tournament. You're in a good position right now. The path to the championship is the shortest for you right now, and that's got to be a pretty good feeling.
It is, and we've told the girls before coming in here, we're going to play it one game at a time. It's a one-game season. That's how we're focusing. We can't look ahead. So, our sights now are just set on the next game and doing our best to lock in and work in the next game. And we're going to watch Louisiana Tech and Middle Tennessee play tonight. They're going to resume. We had a rain delay, so they're going to resume at 7:30. We're going to watch them, but we've seen a lot of them. We've seen a lot of their pitchers. We've had success against both. And so we're not overconfident, but we certainly have confidence going into the next game.
You sticking with Abby, or you're going to switch it up a little bit?
Well, I think you got to go with Abby. I mean, I think she's a 24-game winner. She's one of the biggest reasons we've been so successful this season. Her last 2 performances here at the conference tournament, both shutouts. She looks really good, and honestly, the last times that we faced both Middle Tennessee and Louisiana Tech, she threw extremely well. So, we're going to go with her. But I tell you, Kaylee Williamson, KK, we're ready to put her into. She finished the season really strong, and we know that we can count on her. If we feel like Abby's getting in a jam a little bit.
Does feel like the pitching is feeding off the defense, because you mentioned the fact that everybody's firing on all cylinders, and you can have someone out there on the circle who's having a great game, but if the defense isn't out there, it really doesn't mean anything. And it feels like this has been a team that has really focused on 3 tent poles, scoring a lot of runs, solid pitching, and great defense.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the defensive side of things is our most improved part of the game. I mean, if you were paying attention to us at the beginning of the year, that first weekend, our defense was not great, not great at all. And that's something we've put a lot of work into, and that's the most improved part of our game. Our defense has really had our pitchers back here at the middle to end of the season. And they really fight hard for our pitchers. And that our pitchers feed off of that. Our pitchers feel comfortable throwing pitches that are going to allow the other team to put the ball in play, because they feel confident that our defense is going to take care of it. And they really have done a good job lately doing that for our pitchers.
Since I've got you here, of course, you're going to be focusing soon on the next opponent, but just to take it back a little bit, you get 4 on the All-Conference USA team, really a testament to what this team's been about. Everything seems to be just firing in all cylinders right now, I mean, to use a cliche.
Yeah, the All-Conference honors are great for our players. I mean, 4 of them on it, that's great. My own all freshmen. We have other players that have done extremely well and have great numbers that, I feel in my book are all conference players. And that's the great thing about our team. We aren't a team of individual stars. We have a solid group of players. From top to bottom in our lineup, everyone produces. Our pitching staff is solid. So that to me is the best part about our team. It's not just 1 or 2 or 3 players. We have a big group of players that contribute and do big things for us. And that's why we've won, 38 games on the season? That's why. We have so many players that step up and contribute.
38-18, an outstanding mark so far. You get to add to that total tomorrow. You face off against the winner of the 2 seed and the 6 seed, Louisiana Tech and Middle Tennessee. It doesn't matter which team you get. I'm sure you'll be happy to take on either one of them. But if you could scout that game for us a little bit, what do you see in this Louisiana Tech and Middle Tennessee matchup?
Well, Middle Tennessee is a scrappy team. The last 2 games they played here at the tournament have been tough games for them. Come from behind win in the first game, and they knocked off Western Kentucky yesterday. So they're tough. And last year they were the 4 seed coming into the tournament and won the whole thing. So they know how to win this thing, and you can see that when you watch them play. So they're a scrappy team. When we played them at their place, we were very dominant. Abby Tolbert was very dominant. Their offense couldn't really get anything going. So I know if we face them, we're going to see a different hunger from them and a fire, since we definitely were in control when we played them. Louisiana Tech is preseason number 1 coming into the year, and they finished the season co-champs. And they're a solid team. They have solid pitching. They're fast. They've got speed. They're well coached. So honestly, we know a lot about each of those teams. We were able to win the series versus Louisiana Tech, and we swept Middle Tennessee. So we know we're going to get their best game and a little bit of revenge from them, I'm sure. But honestly, the great thing about us is that we've been more focused on us than anyone. Every time we step onto the field to play someone, we're more focused on what we can do and what we need to do to succeed. And that'll be no different tomorrow. We won't get wrapped up in who we're playing. We'll focus on what we need to do as Marshall to win those games.
Megan Smith's our guest, head coach of the Marshall softball team. The Thundering Herd, the 4 seed, advancing to the winner's bracket, defeating the 1 seed, North Texas, 1-0. Abigail Tolbert with a shutout, her 3rd straight. Tomorrow we'll face off against the winner of Louisiana Tech and Middle Tennessee. And, of course, you got to be loving the fact the rain delay and everything, just delay that a little bit more. Yeah, they're going to be a little tired tomorrow. I know it's got to be in the back of your mind. It's in mine, at least.
Well, rain delays are tough, and you wish the weather wasn't an issue, but it is for an outdoor sport. It always is for softball, and we were really lucky. They made the decision. The Big 12 made the decision to move our game early this morning, and no one likes to play at 9:30, but we saw it as a blessing because we knew there was going to be weather coming through, and literally the minute that we stepped off the field and started walking towards the bus, the rain started. So we felt pretty lucky that we were able to get our game in and not have any worries and any delays. And, tonight, hopefully they can start at 7:30. And if they do, that's definitely a late night for them. But, it's championship time. So those teams and those players, they're not going to really care about that. They're going to be ready to play tomorrow regardless of how late it is tonight.
Megan Smith's our guest, the head coach of the Marshall softball team, advancing to the winners bracket. I know it's going to be a long next few days for you, so we do appreciate your time. And this has been fun. This has been a fun run so far. Everybody's first season should go this fun, right?
Well, yeah, wouldn't that'd be something, right? It has been an absolute joy. I tell you, seasons can get long. Seasons get long. You play a lot of games. But as a coach, this is probably one of the best groups that I've ever coached. They're a joy to be around. They love the game. They work hard. They respect the game. They love Marshall, and they're in it for the right reasons. We don't have any people in our team, no one in our dugout that is in it only for themselves. They root for their teammates as much as they want themselves to succeed. That's very unique nowadays to find. But it's fun every day to go out there. I mean, it absolutely has been a joy, and I couldn't have scripted a better first season. Obviously a conference championship would make it better, but up to this point, I couldn't have imagined it going any better. And I'm just so lucky to be the head coach at Marshall. I love everything about it, and this group has just made it an absolute dream season.
Congratulations. Good luck tomorrow. Let's hope we're talking once again about this team getting into the championship game. 2 more games and you're Conference USA champions. Let's hope that happens.
Well, let's hope so. We'll take it one game at a time, though. We'll worry about tomorrow first.
See, I get to look ahead. That's the beauty of radio. I get to look ahead. You're like, shut up. I got one game at a time.
Yeah, well, we really, honestly, that's been our mantra: one game at a time, one pitch at a time, and I've got to live by it. So we definitely are locked in on tomorrow, but hopefully we are talking after tomorrow, and we're thinking about talking about being in the championship game.
Coach, good luck again. Thanks for coming on, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Megan Smith, our guest, the head coach of the Marshall softball team. Again, the Thundering Herd advancing to the championship bracket. They are the 4 seed, beating the 1 seed this afternoon. 1-0. They're now in the winner's bracket. They're awaiting the winner of Louisiana Tech and Middle Tennessee, and the Thundering Herd will face off against the winner of that contest. And if they can win that game, they'll be in the championship game playing the winner of the loser bracket. And we'll hopefully have the Thundering Herd in that game championship Saturday. Looking forward to it. When we come back for break, we're going to hear from CJ Burks. He's going to be in town working on, getting that autograph hand really, really perfected, because you got an opportunity to hang out with him, see him for maybe one final time for a long time, or at least for a while anyway, as he's going to be in town for an event, and we'll talk to CJ about his career. Also, we'll talk to him about where you can hang out with him on Friday. That's when we continue with today's edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to the Thursday edition of The Drive. Paul Swann, your host here on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930. And true pleasure now to welcome back to the program. We get to see him maybe a couple more times before he's off to pursue his pro career. And I can remember the days where he was in this studio as an intern, and of course always got a chance to catch up with him after a Thundering Herd victory. And it's CJ Burks who's with us now on the program. Good talking to you again. I thought I'd seen you for the last time after the CIT championship.
Oh no, it's gonna be another time than that. I thought it was too.
So congratulations again on that. I know that's a special way to end your career at Marshall, hoist a trophy, cut the nets down, and just see all those fans didn't want to go home that night. I know it was hard for you to get back to the locker room because everybody wanted to be around you. They just wouldn't let you go.
I know for sure. Definitely. There was a lot of love. I definitely didn't want to leave either. It definitely caught me lingering around about an hour or two after the game. So it was good seeing and talking to everybody and getting pictures and signing different autographs and jerseys and shoes and stuff like that. It was fun. It was fun to see how much love and stuff that I got and everybody's and how missed I'll be.
Now, there's another opportunity for fans who maybe didn't get a chance to hang out with you and express that love. You're going to have an opportunity to meet with fans. You're going to be at the Marshall Bookstore tomorrow from 2 to 4. Now, the great thing about this event is they're going to raffle off items, and $5 for raffle ticket. So there's an autographed basketball, but you're going to be signing tomorrow, and you're not charging. You're just there to hang out with fans and be seen by these people who maybe didn't get a chance to see you. I thought that was really cool that you're just doing an autograph session because you want to.
Right, yeah, that's basically what it is. Just want to connect with the fans. One last time before I leave, and to start my journey. They've been a big part of of all of our success and my individual success as well. So it's definitely going to feel good, to just talk with everybody again and connect with everybody again one last time.
Now, you're heading off to pursue a pro career, and you need representation. So I'm always curious why a certain representative, why a certain agent clicks with an athlete. So you signed with Empower. What are they about, and why do they fit for you?
They're very professional. Definitely have a great relationship with them about basketball and off the court about non-basketball situations. But they'll put me in a great position. Whole staff is just very hardworking and very committed. And when you're picking an agent, you want to kind of make the right decisions. Have somebody that's working hard for you and that'll have your back 100%. So that's what they give to me. So I felt very comfortable signing with them, knowing my career will be in their hands. So we're very excited. Everybody's very excited and ready to go.
What was that process like? Picking an agent, just going through researching. I've never had to deal with an agent the way you've had to. So what's that process like?
It's a lot of research, a lot of talking with the family and people close by. The process, it kind of gets a little crazy at times when you picking an agent and trying to decide what things and all the pros and cons and stuff to everybody. So once you're all the pros and cons, just a lot of stuff, a lot of little things about people you don't know, and you gotta do your research and talk with different people and see what's real and what's not, and trying to get a good feel for the person, get a good feel for the agency, whole staff working and seeing how hardworking they are. So it was good.
Is it like the college basketball recruiting season all over again? Agents are coming after you, or are you more of the proactive one?
Yeah. It's good. Yeah, I could definitely compare it to that. Different people, trying to get a hold of me and things like that. But then again, at the end of the day, you just got to go with the one that makes your decision will make best for you and your family and things like that. So.
Joining us on the program, one of the all-time greats here at Marshall University. I can say that now. You're off the team. You've moved on now. CJ Burks. How did it feel just to know that your career had such an impact? Right.
It feels good, man, to know what type of mark I left here at Marshall. All the coaching staff and all the Her fans has been behind me 100% this whole time. And we've been through a lot of ups and downs and a lot of twists and turns, but it all turned out for the better. All the hard work the team put in and I put in individually. It's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, to go into what we've done and what I've done individually. So just want to thank everybody, for just staying there with us and not turning their backs on us when things got down. So that feels good to have I talked to a lot of people. A lot of people have been saying like how crazy our crowd is and the atmosphere and things when they come like that, even little bigger schools and things like that. So that tells you a lot right now about our fans and things like that. So I definitely believe they was a big part of our success, and I thank them for that.
How harder has the workouts got? Because now you're trying to get ready to pursue a pro career, and you want to put yourself in a position where you can succeed at whatever level you play at. So how hard, how intense has it been just trying to get ready for that next level?
Very intense, very. I definitely say, just been working out every day and pushing my body to the limits. Got a great guy, willing to work me out, and workout's definitely different. Definitely high pace. Each level you go, it's a different intensity that you got to bring. So that's with that being said, workouts I love. Doing basketball is something I love. I can do it all day. So But the intensity is definitely a higher intensity and a different mental mindset that you have to bring to the game.
Is that something you work out with your agent as far as finding somebody who can take you to that next level, or is that something you took on yourself personally?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's definitely personal, and with the guys that surrounded me, with picking the agency, got to have somebody there, that can also push me, because, I'm going to push myself, but at times you will need that person to get you that extra step and tell you things and different things like that. So it's definitely good.
Joining us on the program now, Marshall great, CJ Burks. I can say that. He's going to be at the Marshall Bookstore on Friday afternoon, 2 to 4 p.m. Now, this is a great opportunity for fans. Autographs and pictures are going to be free. Also, there's going to be a raffle for an autographed basketball, and that's just $5. And you're going to be there for 2 hours, maybe more, depending on these Herd fans. You know how they are, and just spending time with the fans. And then you're going to go and hopefully maybe we'll get to hear your name on draft day, or at least find you on an NBA team sooner than later.
Right. Yes, sir. That's the plan. I just hope everybody, all the Herd fans and people that support me comes out tomorrow from at the Times at 2 and, support me, and maybe we have some great conversations and different signings and different gifts and stuff we're going to give out. So it's going to be a very fun time. I advise that, everybody to come out, have a good time. Come
early too, right? 2 o'clock you show up, you might be in a line.
Right. Come 2 o'clock, you might be in a little line. You might want to come just a little bit early.
CJ Burks, our guest. So after this, what's next for you as far as where you go? What's the process from now until draft day and after that?
Process right now is, just staying in shape, staying working out. My team, agency, they're doing a great job right now. Unbelievable job, actually, with connecting different teams and doing different things like that. It's a business, though. So my main goal, agency main goal, they definitely believe in me 100%, family as well, to try to make that NBA dream come true. But definitely obstacles that come in life that it might not go that direction right away. So we're all just staying positive and keeping God first and praying and just working extremely hard every day. And I'm blessed to be around a group of guys and a group of staff like that just works hard.
That's important.
And definitely.
Go ahead, CJ.
Shortly, I'll be leaving for Miami, working with Stanley Remy. They hooked me up really well. I love them down there. My agency doing a great job with connecting me with a lot of different things that's going to help my body, nutrition-wise, sleep-wise, all the whole 9 yards. So they're doing an extremely well job.
And to go back to that, that's important to have somebody in your corner, because not necessarily does everybody hear their name on draft day, but that doesn't mean that's the end, because there's only a couple of rounds. Not everybody gets drafted, but there are still many paths to the NBA, and the draft is just one of them.
Right. It's definitely not like football. You have 7 rounds. Basketball is a very rare opportunity. You only get 2 rounds, but a lot of people get down on themselves if it doesn't happen right away. But it's a process. It's a business. Everything doesn't work out as planned. So my coaches, my staff, they're doing a great job with me preparing me for these different types of situations and what can and what will and what could happen. So they're doing a great job preparing me.
I'm just kind of curious, after pro basketball, this is years down the line, what are your plans after that? Are you maybe interested in getting into coaching? Are you just going to be focused on a professional career and leave the coaching to people like Dan D'Antoni?
Well, actually, I have a long list of things that I want to do that's outside of basketball that I love doing. But a couple of things, I'll definitely do some coaching. Definitely interested in giving back to the community and maybe starting up my own AAU team. So those are a couple of things that my mind's focused on right now. After basketball, could be a situation that I'll definitely do.
CJ Burks, our guest, one of the all-time greats at Marshall University. I know we'll have you back here in a few years in person, so when they retire hopefully we'll retire your number. I've already got the plan for you. We retire your number. We get you into the Marshall Athletic Hall of Fame. You'll be here for an awards banquet, all of that good stuff. I mean, that's what you do when you win championships and when you score as many points as you did.
Right. Yeah, definitely, for sure. I appreciate everything, all the ups and downs getting through here. And it's so special. I still can't believe it to this day what I accomplished and what Marshall basketball have accomplished over these years.
Now, once again, CJ is going to be at the Marshall Bookstore Friday, 2 to 4 p.m., and we appreciate Empower Sports Management Group for setting us up today. And autographs and pictures are going to be free, so if you want an autograph, you want a picture of CJ, those are free. $5 raffle ticket for an autographed basketball, and get there early if you want to hang out with CJ. Man, congratulations. It was good seeing you again, talking to you. Congratulations on everything, and looking forward to seeing where you land up in your professional career. Just don't be a Celtic, okay? That's the only thing I ask. Don't be a Celtic.
I'll try to see if I can maneuver around that. But thank you. I appreciate everything. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate you having me on the show. You're very appreciated.
Thanks, sir. CJ Burks, our guest. He's going to be at Marshall at the bookstore 2 to 4 tomorrow. Autograph signing. It's going to be free, and there will be a raffle for a signed basketball. That's pretty cool. The fact that he just shows up, he's just going to do an autograph session, and there's no charge to that, and there is an opportunity for you to win a basketball. I mean, that's really cool. So I do appreciate the folks over at Empower for putting us together today. I get a chance to talk to CJ one more time, and you get a chance tomorrow, 2 to 4 at the Marshall Bookstore. All right, we're going to take our next break, come back. We'll go over what happened last night in the National Hockey League, and, of course, the NBA as well. We've got games to talk about when we continue with today's edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Buckle up. Paul Swann has the wheel on The Drive, ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to the Thursday edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. That was fun. CJ Burks, got a chance to talk to him, and I can just remember again, he was the intern that we brought in here. No, he wasn't CJ the basketball player. No, he was CJ the intern. So now he's got a chance to play professional basketball, be it the NBA or other leagues. I think he's going to have a great pro career. He's going to work hard at it too. That's what I loved about his character. I think he had the greatest growth between last season and this season. And if you look at him, you can see he put the time in the gym. He put the effort in, and it really showed. And I don't think the dynamic of Elmore and Burks will be repeated anytime soon. And John Elmore maybe got the scoring championship. He got all of that stuff, but I think CJ Burks is what made that happen. And I think John would agree. Now, CJ and Burks work well together, so both of their success is linked. You don't take one away without the other, and I think both of those guys would agree to that they were a potent combination. You know what? Those two just look like they have fun out there. I think I can honestly say that. Just watching them, just watching their body language, watching the way they played, they just have fun playing with each other. They trusted each other, and look at where it elevated it. Marshall basketball gets to the NCAA tournament. Marshall basketball, maybe not this season, gets to repeat that, but they take a postseason tournament in it to win it. They go out champions of the CIT. Nice little springboard into the next season, and those two young men get to go out winners. You feel good. Doesn't matter what tournament you're in. You win a tournament in postseason, you feel good about it. You don't have questions. You don't get bounced out. You go in and win it. Or you don't have those lingering thoughts, okay, why are we here? No, these guys just decided, okay, we're in it. We're going to go win this thing. And that's what Marshall did. It didn't hurt to be the number one seed. Staying at home didn't help. I think it didn't help the other teams. That's to be expected. Coming into the Henderson Center, which was loud. The crowds were good too. I thought they were good. I mean, you're asking fans to come to a tournament with short turnaround and buy new tickets. So I thought that was really just a great way for those young men to go out. And if you were there, and I know years from now, more of you are going to say you were there than were. But if you were there, it was just nobody wanted to go home. Wanted to hang out with these kids, hang out with the champs of the CIT, and just express the appreciation for Marshall and these players. And get a lot of guys coming back as well. So it was fun talking to CJ today. Definitely going to miss him. You're not going to see a player like him anytime soon. But that's on Dan D'Antoni now. You got to come out with the next CJ Burks and John Elmore. I don't want that job. That's why he's the coach and I'm not. Welcome to The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930. Don't forget, if you missed any part of the show today, you can always go back and catch it on our podcast. We're on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio. We're on TuneIn, Spotify. Wherever you get your podcast is where you can find today's edition of The Drive. We got baseball to talk about as well. Thundering Herd baseball back at it. They are going to be on the road, taking on Old Dominion for a 3-game set. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Thundering Herd right now, 6th in Conference USA. Of course, the top 8 teams qualify for the Conference USA tournament, and that's coming up May 22nd to 26th. I think they're going to be there. It's feeling really close right now that they're a cinch to be in. 6th spot right now. Top 8 gets in. What if they can get in maybe as a 6 seed, 5 seed maybe, sneak in there as a 7? I don't know where they're going to end up, but it'd be nice if they could get in there and maybe get hot and win a few games, and you never know. But they got to be well rested. Finals, 1, that's its own workload, taking finals. But 2, they should be pretty rested and fresh as they face off against Old Dominion. Again, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 6 p.m. for Friday and Saturday, 1 p.m. on Sunday. And, of course, you can follow all the action on herdzone.com. I like their chances. They're 24-23 right now. They're 11-12, though, in Conference USA. That's pretty solid. That's okay. This is one of the better baseball conferences in the country, so they definitely are looking solid right now. And I think that if you asked me a few weeks ago, there were a couple of times where I thought, okay, they've stumbled a bit here. I don't know. And, yeah, they've taken some tough losses. They faced some tough competition. I'm not going to bemoan the fact that Little Marshall out of the Conference USA ranks maybe sometimes takes a dinger or two, takes a hit, plays up a little bit, and maybe takes it. Not the best way possible. I think that's going to improve over time. I'm optimistic, and I admit that. But at the same time, there are a lot of positives going on here. Getting a new baseball park. I mean, that's going to immediately help. You're getting a new baseball park. You're going to be playing in one of the better baseball conferences in America, in Conference USA. The ballpark should immediately help you plan for the future. I mean, you can actually go to recruits now. Again, we've talked about this until we're blue in the face. You can go to recruits. Here it is. Here's the groundbreaking photo. Here's where you're going to be playing. And this is the competition you're going to be playing against. It's going to be good for Huntington. It's going to be good for Marshall. And I'm excited because of the fact that now you get a facility. You could probably get maybe a short season team here. You could have a team play after Marshall baseball's over. That will be fun. You would actually have baseball going for several months because you would have Marshall baseball and then you would have minor league baseball. Again, the potential is there for, I think, a resurgence in Marshall baseball. When they break the ground, we'll have photos of it. We'll tell everyone, here it is. Marshall baseball coming to you in a brand new facility. All right, hockey tonight, basketball tonight. What are you watching? Of course, you know what I'm watching. It's going to be Carolina and Boston. They don't like them funny Southern talking boys in Boston. So I'm rooting for them jerks. I am one of those front-running jerks rooting for Carolina tonight. I've already had Twitter tell me where I can get a shirt. That's how responsive Twitter is. Already providing me links where I can buy. I'm going to wait just a minute. You know what? If I'm going to front run, I'm getting a Stanley Cup championship shirt. I'm going to front run properly. I learn from the school of front running by my good friend, Bandwagon Bill Cornwell. I'm going to front run properly. I'm going to have a championship shirt, championship hat. I'm going to own this Stanley Cup championship if they win it like it's my very own. I'm doing it right. And Carolina's got Boston tonight, 8 o'clock on our sister station, Cat Sports 93.3 and 1340. You can tune in there if you can't watch it. And, of course, Toronto and Philadelphia, Denver at Portland. We got Pirates baseball coming up tonight as well, right here on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930. We're done. That's it. The show's over. Back tomorrow. We'll do it all over again. Hopefully we're talking about a Marshall appearance and the championship game after a victory tomorrow in softball. We'll look ahead to what's happening on the Western Conference side of the NHL bracket. We'll take a look at the NBA as well. Pirates, got all of that for you coming up tomorrow on The Drive right here on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930. Thanks to my guest today, Megan Smith, head coach of the Marshall softball team, and from Marshall basketball, soon to be hopefully a pro team, NBA team near you, CJ Burks. Don't forget, he's got a signing coming up tomorrow at the Marshall bookstore from 2 to 4. That's going to do it for this edition of The Drive. Thanks for tuning in on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
WRBC Huntington, W227BS Huntington. This is your radio home for Pittsburgh Pirates baseball, ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.